Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the ABS show on Mina TV Africa. And we have the beautiful
Yazzie,
the beautiful
Glitterati,
the beautiful
Miss Pitfire,
and the handsome Manny Man.
all right.
he is not handsome. I do not know.
Girl. He's looking at the sweets on that corner.
Sweet boy association.
We gonna rush you.
Thank you. Now them they rush us. I don't need to brag. So Charlie's not here today, but the table is also complete. And today we're having a debate on something very sensitive. Yazzie, take it away.
Following the recent shooting by a kid who lost in a video game, I wanted us to discuss the effects of video game on our youth. Because I'm sure you guys heard about what happened on August 26th when there was a Madden tournament and one of the gamers lost. And as he lost, he just took out a gun and he just started shooting the other kids that were at the tournament. And a couple of people lost their lives and there were a lot of injuries. As well.
That's really sad. And the funny thing about the history of this particular boy is that he actually has won this tournament before in the year 2016. And then he's playing again in this new 2018 tournament and he couldn't accept the fact that he lost and he wasn't going to make it to the final. So he left. He came back and opened fire on people.
Quick question: the Madden game, is it a gun game or
No, they were playing NFL.
Game.
It was an NFL game. NFL game, but the thing is, they win a lot of money. You know, gaming has changed from what it was the time when we were young. When we were young, we play game for fun, and our moms would scream at us, "Go do your homework." But right now, people make money. I know a gamer who makes $500,000+ a month.
Are we talking about video games here?
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about video games.
Yeah, we're talking about the effect it has on the growing generation now because there's so much push to that direction. We've always been addicted to games, especially guys as kids. But right now,
I'll tell you my story too. I was addicted too. Go ahead.
Why?
Finish.
But right now, the fact that people make money off these games has drawn so much youth to that direction. Now everybody wants to play a tournament, everybody wants to win because you can sit at home for a whole month and you could be worth $200,000 gaming. Yes. But now this boy actually lost in the tournament and he came back and opened fire.
He actually came, I mean, from what I've read on CNN, he came to the venue with a gun. I didn't hear that he left and came back. Like,
so it happened
so there was no metal
just after
detector
he
then.
lost.
he came like he had a gun
So
on him.
pretty much he had his mindset: if he loses,
this
he'll
is
shoot.
what's gonna
So
happen.
that-
Whether he wins or lose, he'll shoot.
I don't know. That's where a lot of the questions come in at. And then I don't want to deviate from the fact that we're talking about games making kids violent, but there are a lot of conspiracy theories about that. Some people are saying that it's all a plot to take away our gun rights. That, you know, I guess like he was put up to do it. That I don't know. But this is not the first time that video games have been involved with deaths. We all know about Grand Theft Auto and a lot of shooting games. So I wanted to see, for us to discuss, like, is there a correlation? Do video games make kids violent? I have a 9-year-old and he loves Madden. He loves 2K Live and he plays those games. So this for me was quite scary and hit close to home. I have a brother that's a professional gamer. So it's like, okay, so you're telling me like my brother could be playing a game somewhere and someone is just gonna shoot him for like playing a game, you know? So like, do you guys really think that the video games make them violent?
I personally don't think so. I think it's your upbringing. It's your family life. It's what your experiences, psychological issues. Like we have to put all those things into play, not just a game.
Yep.
Because at one point I was addicted to gaming. I was addicted to The Sims. I don't know if you know The
Okay,
Sims.
I remember when that came out and it was like a family game. You get to dress them up and
You get to have a lot of money and everything. So the thing about it, I got so addicted. I was researching cheat codes. I was working extra time. Even I was actually in a relationship at the time, and they said, "Oh, I didn't want to even talk to them on the phone." I was like, "I had to call you back," and I was really on the. I was like, "Wait."
You left your boyfriend for a game.
I don't know what it was, but it does. I mean, like when you get into it, you get into a zone. But it didn't necessarily make me want to kill somebody or slap somebody or do anything crazy because it's really your upbringing. Like when you think about how you've been brought up, your socialization skills, who you're around, what is happening, those kind of things. And I think also money also creates demons. That's it.
Yeah.
Money it corrupts absolutely. So when money's involved, it becomes a different dynamic. You know, if money's not involved, it wouldn't be so like, you know, it wouldn't be so hot. If there was no money, he may have not even shot, but maybe he was. He probably had some mental health issues. So you got to think about all those levels because before you just go ahead and blame the game. Like there was a time when they said a song can make somebody kill somebody or make somebody commit suicide. So it's like you can't just blame the last prompt. It could have been like a prompt, but there's so many other things we need to look at first before we talk about gaming is gaming is make everybody kill everybody.
Spitfire, what do you think?
Honestly, it's a sad situation where something that's supposed to bring joy and entertainment to families turn around and it's seen as a tool of destruction. I think, like she said, it's psychological because you need to understand that a lot of people play these games, but not a lot of people are going into the streets shooting people up, especially around that GTA? Grand Theft Auto. Around that period, it was a lot of madness going on about how violent the game was and how kids would react to it. We did get a couple of situations where we had shoot-ups in schools, but it wasn't at the magnitude which we thought it would be, being that everybody was playing the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think it's more psychological. The fact that the kids are in homes where they do have access to these guns, it kind of says something about the family where they come from, where they stem from. So if for instance, the kid, Adam Lanza, that shot up Sandy Hook, if he didn't have access to the guns, he would probably be in his room, tear up the whole room, get mad, and that's pretty much where he ends. But he went ahead, shot his mom, came to the school, shut up the school, killed 20 kids, 6 adults, and then killed himself. So you can imagine what goes through the minds of these people. I don't think it's the game per se. I think it stems from a completely different place. Because if that's the case, they play games in Nigeria too. They play games in China. They play games in Japan. They play games in Japan. But you don't see them, you don't see them shooting up everywhere like they are, like it's happening in the States. So it goes far. It says something about the people in particular, not really the game. This kid was playing Madden. That's why I had to ask if it was a violent game, a shooting game, or it's Madden. Madden's a football game, right?
Right.
So how would you play Madden and then turn around and kill people? If it was really the video games, you would say, okay, it's probably like Grand Theft Auto where you have guns, you have to shoot.
So it's already registered in the brain.
Right.
Resident
so just
Evil.
how
Resident Evil.
Exactly. So it's how your brain is wired to think. How whatever demons they're battling at that point in time, that's what took over them, not really the game.
And you know what demon it is? I think it's self-esteem issues. It's not really about the game or the environment, because every public or private environment now is a target. It's dangerous. You could just be in your house and somebody could shoot a straight bullet, you know? But I think what they're really battling with is self-esteem issues. And most kids usually have that, and they deal with that in their society and at home because they don't have a voice. Because psychology, I did a little bit of research, and what it said was like, kids that have self-esteem issues, they don't know how to take failure or losses in public places, because when they lose, they feel like they come in and they feel so embarrassed. They don't know how to deal with it, and then they resort to confidence by using firearms. The firearms give them kind of confidence when they shoot. So that's already a problem.
I like that explanation. That's a good explanation.
I think that it's an addiction thing.
To kill people?
No, it's kind of like, if you're addicted to something, like you have to do whatever, almost kind of like you're addicted to a drug, right? Like whatever, you have to have your weed or whatever, your pills, your Xanax or whatever.
But you can't kill to get your weed.
Yeah.
People have done a lot of crazy things to get their
I'm
drugs.
just saying.
Maybe not weed, because weed is not that, it's not such a, but there are people that, you've seen it, you have people's mothers that end up getting gangbanged for like a $10 drug, you know? So I kind of see video games as like, when it gets very addictive to that certain point, like some of the kids, it's like you said, they can't handle it. Like, I have to have this, I have to have that. And depending on the personality type, depending on what you guys are saying, the home that they're in, depending on all of that, it can cause that child to react a certain way because of how addicted they are. Like, there are kids that have like beat up their parents over not being able to play a video game. You have 2 teenage boys that literally murdered their mom because their mom said they couldn't go out or something like that. Like,
But the funny thing is that this thing doesn't only lie with kids. There are some people who carry this self-esteem issue and other things to their old age, to maturity. That's why some people actually commit suicide.
And you have people that actually go into their workplace and shoot up the whole place.
Yes.
That's
it
true.
actually happened in the Bronx last year. I was very close to the hospital, the Bronx Lebanon Hospital. I just walked past there and it happened. It was even a doctor after he was fired.
Yes.
He came back and shot a lot of people.
Yes.
So I still think that has to do with self-esteem issue. People can't accept failure.
You're right. You're right. I don't think that the video games, for me personally, I don't think that the video games correlates with a child being violent.
Right.
I agree with everything you guys are saying, and I'll say that because if that was the case, how come is it not like that for the other countries that have high video game rates? For example, the top 4 markets for video games, number 1 is USA with 13.6 billion people. Japan is 7 billion. China, number 3 with 6.8, and South Korea with 5 billion. So how come that Japan, China, and South Korea are not
Killing
kids
themselves.
are not going and killing themselves over tournaments and stuff like that, and it's only in the United States. So I definitely agree that it has a lot to do with your upbringing, your mental, like your home, self-esteem, and issues like that.
So, and also I was gonna say, don't just put your child in front of a video game. Check in, do things with them. Because when we were, I don't know, when we were all growing up, we were doing other things. We were outside, like you can do video games, but what else can you do? What else, how do we drag out? How do we make them feel like there's something else beyond just this game? Because the game was this is all he had. That's why he took that kind of, level of shooting people up. Right. Is because, like, what else do you have going for yourself beyond this game? I understand that you're making money from it and do whatever, but you have to kind of, like, it's really from home, like I said, from how you're brought up. Like, there's other things to do. You can have this, but I'm not going to, some people literally sit their kids in front of that on television, and that's it.
I just leave them. The way the country is set up, the way the States is set up, it's set up in such a way that is allowed. Yeah. You can actually, you see them doing it. Like you said, a parent actually put the kid in front of, come and try it in Nigeria now. You want to sit down and play game when it's plates to wash. Yeah. Have you washed the car?
Yeah.
Who's going to carry the dustbin out for you? Me?
Yeah.
Where's put the plate on top of my head. Your mother will tell you. They would keep you moving back and forth, tell you, time for lesson. You want to watch, you want to play games, you have an hour just to play games, and then you're back to your assignment. If NEPA even gives you lights to play the game, you're back to your assignment. But the way the way America is set up, it's set up in just such a way that it's comfort. You can actually do this. The parents are too busy working. They have deadlines to meet. They don't want to be distracted from what you're doing. So the best way to watch the kids is to put the game, which is the babysitter, in front of the kids.
Let's speak for Nigeria. Instagram is Nigeria's addiction.
Let's speak. You could just digital addiction.
Digital addiction.
Let's be real. Right now.
Nigeria is one of the biggest consumers of Instagram, social media. Can you believe that? So that's another point of where you're tunnel vision. You're living your life. You're doing fake, like literally being a video game is living a fake life, right? I am this football player. I'm this great guy. I'm this whatever. I'm winning these games. Or I'm on Instagram, I'm flossing, I'm a slay queen, I'm a slay boy, all of that. But it's all really virtual reality. Because when you think about it, you remove it, what's the real deal? What are you really dealing with? What's happening with you? How do we take those layers down before it gets too far?
It's really going too far. And I feel like every person is battling with one kind of addiction, but some of them don't even know they're addicted already. In this world, like everyone of us.
I think everyone has their addiction. Like for example, lately I've been really trying not to be on social media because I feel like I think you just
uploaded a new picture. No, I just got alert. My bank alert just went off.
You just uploaded a picture?
Not today.
I
think I did a live this morning.
But can you stay for 24 hours without your smartphone?
I don't think I can.
You can. So we are all addicted.
You see, I can.
I have done it.
You can.
I've unplugged for a whole week.
For a whole week.
Tell us how.
Tell us.
Okay, so besides working, because I obviously have to be on a computer at work. So besides working, I made sure not to open any other pages, just my work page. And then my phone was off. When I wanted to call my mom, I called from my work phone. Hi, Mom, how you doing? Just want to check up on you. I tried to call your phone, it's switched off. I'm like, the battery is dead. And I kept doing that for the whole week. Okay, I'm lying. I did it from Monday till Saturday. Sunday, Sunday, I didn't know when I put my phone on because I said I was trying to set up my alarm and I had my phone on and then next thing I know I was on Instagram. I'm like, wait, dang, I didn't make it all the way to the 7th day. But I tried.
So do you know why you were able to do that?
Why?
Because you were single.
That's what I was about to say that. Listen,
it's not possible to be in a relationship.
I agree.
It's not possible. She switched off her phone.
I went offline. I was just telling her about this. I went offline for like 12 hours yesterday. and it was a whole nother story. Like my phone was being blown up. It was exactly.
Are you okay?
Yeah, like are you okay? Where are you? You know.
Okay, you can't
so
do
maybe
that.
you
guys
guys
are putting me on black. Okay, you guys, I'm single, though, so.
Russia.
So, but when you wake up in the morning, we all have our own ritual. Like
course.
when you wake up in the morning, how long does it take before you get to your phone?
Right away.
Okay.
I'm like, literally, I'm like, right away. I'm like,
not gonna
and I
lie.
just left the phone to put it down, put it on charger. Like, I'm so addicted, like sometimes my phone makes me late. Because I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just scrolling. I'm like, Aisha, what is wrong with you?
That's why what you said is so important, and I do the same. Again, my son is addicted to video games, and Monday through Friday, there is no game playing allowed in my house, period. I unplug it, I hide things, I hide the battery for the controller. Like, he gets mad, he's crying, he's upset. He comes, he tricks, Mommy, I'll do this, I'll do the dishes, I did all my homework, I read 5 books, can I play the game? I'm like, no. You know, Saturday and Sunday, I allow him time, and I monitor it. I don't even allow him to play the PG-13 games. I'm sorry. Like, his dad will call me, oh, but it's okay, I played with him. Okay, in your house, he can do that. In my house, no. We're not doing
So what if he plays a game with his dad on a holiday and he wins like $100,000 and he comes back to say, Mommy, I just won $100,000. Will you stop him from playing Monday to Friday?
No, I don't stop him from playing the games, but no, you're not going to play Monday through Friday. There are other things, and that's and it's not even that it's a mistake parents do. American life is so hectic. You have to work 9 to 5. That sometimes it's just not feasible for the parents to control it. If you have a 13-year-old kid, they come home from school by themselves, you're still at work, you have no idea what you're doing from the time that they're home around 3 p.m. to whatever. So that's why you have to try. Like, I mean, and it's very costly, because for me, like, my son goes to different after-school programs. When he gets out at school, I keep him busy till like 6:30. And I feel like you have to do that with like a hyperactive 9-year-old boy. If not, like, it's 2 things that's going to happen. He's going to end up following kids at school or following the wrong things online. But again, it becomes hard because not every parent can afford it financially, or not every parent can have the time to like dedicate to it. But I think it is important that we watch it, that our kids don't get addicted to just not video games, not necessarily because they're bad, but you just don't want anyone's life to depend on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But we should all do a social media challenge and like, you know, challenge ourselves maybe 3 days without it or something.
Okay, 3 of you, right? 3 days
you know
for 3
what?
of you.
I'm not going to lie. I will not lie.
You too. Let me remove myself out.
So you asked the question now, how many minutes before, you know,
You get on your phone in the morning.
Now, my routine is this: when I wake up, as soon as I open my eyes, first thing is prayer. I do my morning prayer.
Okay.
And after my morning prayer, I go online and I search, because I have a plus size page going on. So I search for a picture, someone I want to feature for the day.
Okay.
And I post a picture. It has to be posted between 5:20.
In the morning?
Right? In the morning. I wake up really early. And I put that up there. And then I have to think of what I have to do today, go through my email because of my task for today at work. And then I do all of that. Then, of course, I go on Instagram and I start to look at people on Instagram. Just try to catch up, you know. That would take me to like 6 o'clock, 6:10. So I spend like about 40, we spend time on Instagram.
We spend too
you
much
guys
time.
are lucky.
Like 40 minutes.
Too much. We
40,
all do.
45.
I don't go to bed on time because I'm on my phone.
When I wake up at 6 a.m., before I even brush my teeth or anything, I wash my hands and I'm straight in the kitchen making breakfast for my son. I wish I could wake up and have like 20 minutes to go online. Like,
kind of
I
ties
can't.
back to what we were saying. Addiction comes in different forms. So in their case, you can imagine a kid who's far in, who's invested so many hours into this game and comes back and then he loses.
He don't win in 2016 though.
Yeah,
he
but
won.
How many times are you going to win the same game?
You don't know the community that he has surrounding him. Like, I remember one of the kids, like, they shut up a school. He had people egging him on to go do it. And when he killed people, the same people that were telling him to go do it, like, the madman actually did it. And he killed himself too.
Pressure.
So you don't know what kind of peer pressure he has going on around him, what they're saying to him, how they're edging him on, and then he loses. So to save face, like you said, you know, self-esteem issues. Psychologically, he's like in a whole different space, and then he comes back and he shoots up the whole place. Now, is gaming the reason? No. It is you.
Okay, so guys.
And it's shown how important it is, because you know, after the shooting, they didn't shut down the tournament. The tournament still kept going.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is for us to also tell our audience that they need to literally, like, remember that Now he shot those people. He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. Gaming
He
ain't
shot
gonna happen
himself.
for you. He killed himself?
Killed himself.
A lot of
Okay,
times
he
they end up
did.
killing
Yeah.
themselves.
Okay, I didn't even
So
know
you
that.
gotta, parents, you have to be on the lookout. I understand that the
Yeah.
society we are in today is really hard in the sense that it's hard for you to juggle your day-to-day life and juggle monitoring your kids' activities, but you really have to keep your eyes on them. Not just the gaming. Watch them and see if there's anything off place with them. If they're acting a little different, if they're talking a little different, be on the lookout, because these are little pointers that'll get you to know that
True.
there's something psychologically wrong or something out of place with how you're thinking.
And he's a grown
Alright.
man, though. He's not even a kid.
Yeah, it's not a
Right.
kid. So,
So-
well, we can't have it all. It's a very, very tough conversation. So, guys, we need your thoughts. We need your comments. We need your opinions. We need to know what you think about gaming, addiction, self-esteem, and gun violence.
Yes,
please.
So,
Please give
thank
us
you for
your
watching
ideas.
on the ABS show, and we're signing out.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.